Understanding what a penetration test is, it involves including the testing techniques and methodologies that every pen tester should know. Building your own home lab for penetration testing lab creates a safe and convenient environment for ethical hackers to sharpen their skills and test the various of security tools available in the cybersecurity field. However, it provides much more than just convenience. Therefore, a virtual lab acts as a haven to practice your skills without compromising other people's digital system. On my ongoing activity for this series, I prefer TryHackMe, HackTheBox, and ReinforceForce are the environment of my demonstrations and choose various methodologies and testing techniques that every penetration tester should know. One more advantage of virtual lab is that it isolates you from real-world system and even your host machine. Some attacks carried out while practicing ethical hacking can seriously impact the network and the system itself. For example, if you are handling malware analysis, you will deal with real-world viruses. If these viruses happen to leak to an external system or even your computer, they will have a severe impact, and in some cases, the damage might be irreversible. With a virtual lab, you are assured that you are working within a confined environment and only the target system will be impacted. The puzzle that comes with setting up virtual labs or a physical device or a mix of both. The main difference between the two scenarios is cost. However, both have their advantage and disadvantages. With physical hardware, you will need a PC to hold your target machines or a victim machines and your exploitation OS tool or the attacker machine. You will also need additional devices like router and switches to create a personal network that is completely isolated from the outside network. On the other hand, virtualization technology allows you to run an instance of a computer system in a layer utterly abstracted from primary hardware that is made possible by using some of the popular virtualization software we have in the market like VMware and VirtualBox. For example, if you are running Windows system, you can install a VMware and run a Kali Linux inside your Windows OS, though it requires having enough RAM and memory to run your host and guest environment is crucial. Not only will the machines be slow during the use, you run the risk of a system crashes and failures. There are several types of virtualization software to choose from, but the two most popular ones are VMware Workstation and the Oracle VirtualBox. I use both, but I prefer VMware, though it is limited to 2 VM start at any given time. Unlike with VirtualBox, you can run as many VM as long your resources can handle it. The main advantage of virtualization technology are cost and scalability. You can efficiently run several operating systems on a single PC and still attain the same functionality as running this system on a physical hardware. Additionally, most virtualization software includes the snapshot features that allows you to go back to a particular state of the machine that comes in handy in case you mess up with your installation. On the other hand, physical hardware gives you simulation accuracy and variety of devices to use. Even though you can run most systems with virtualization technology, some will not function properly on the virtual machines as they would only on a physical hardware. For example, Apple OS can only be used legally on an Apple hardware. Additionally, some functionality like wireless network Wi-Fi is only available on physical hardware and not on a virtual machine. Now, once you have decided, the next is to go download and install a Kali or Parrot OS distro or a VM as a popular distro that most of attackers that use, and a VM or a distro of Windows or a Linux for a target machines. Sa mga link na to, maaari mong i-download ang iyong attacker machines at para sa iyong victim machines, kung saan ang Kali Linux at ang Parrot OS ay maaari mong ma-download sa mga link na to. Developersmicrosoft.com for the Microsoft VMs and bolnhub.com for the VMs. Before I proceed, paalala lang, it is not my intention to teach you hacking but instead to educate you what hacker can do to compromise your environment as there is no 100% secured environment at ang mga susunod na mga video ay masisilan at maaaring mapaminsalas sa inyong infrastruktura. Time-team na pag-uunawa ay kailangan. Responsibilidad mo ang kung anuman ang mga actions na iyong gagawin. Reconnaissance denotes the work of the information gathering before any real attacks are planned. The idea is to collect as much interesting information as possible about the target. To achieve this, many different publicly available sources of information are used. The extracted information will often already allow a detailed insight into the affected system. It is the first process in ethical hacking. Reconnaissance is a set of the process and techniques like throat printing, scanning, and enumerations used to covertly discover and collect information about the target system. This encompasses technical as well non-technical informations. Technical informations may be IP ranges, insight into the internal network infrastructures, used hardware, and even passwords. Non-technical information can also prove to be interesting in the context of a pen testing, like social structures and location informations. When used in combination, this information is often very helpful. For example, critical information is normally accessed by upper management and not by interns. Knowledge about internal structures may therefore help focusing on the right targets. Examples for information sources are search engine, social networks, Whois database, or domain name system, which will be demonstrated. All of this data is publicly available and not gathered by exploiting vulnerabilities. Such an investigation is not recognizable for the company, as normally the only direct contact that is made is accessing the company website, which cannot be distinguished from regular visitor due to the fact that no active attacks are taking place. The system of the company are completely safe on this phase. Reconnaissance takes place into two parts: active reconnaissance and passive reconnaissance. Passive reconnaissance is the process where pen tester will not be directly contacted to a computer system. This process is used to gather essential informations without ever interacting with the target system, using informations that are publicly available on the internet, which I will demonstrate shortly. Active reconnaissance is the process where pen tester will directly interact with the computer system to gain information. This information can be relevant and accurate, but there is a risk of getting detected if you are planning active reconnaissance without permissions. If you are detected, then the system admin can take severe action against you and trail your subsequent activities. I will expound the topic in the next video on scanning and enumerations. The data that acquired through reconnaissance give the penetration tester an overview of the company, sometimes down to the point of detailed information about specific targets. This prepares for the next phase of the pen tester, which is the scanning and enumeration phase, where the informations may be immediately used as starting point. These procedures corresponds directly to actions real attackers would take, as they would also first collect information about company before starting any attacks. It goes without saying that even though all the collected information is publicly available, it is also treated as confidential. Footprinting is a part of reconnaissance process which is used to gather possible information about the target computer system or a network. Footprinting could be both passive and active. Reviewing a company website is an example of passive footprinting, where attempting to gain access to sensitive information through a social engineering is an example of active information gathering. Footprinting is basically the first step where hacker gather as much information as possible to find ways to intrude a target system, or at least decide what type of attacks will be more suitable for the target. During this phase, a hacker can collect information such as domain name, IP addresses, namespace, employee information, phone numbers, emails, job information, and so others. In the following, how to extract basic informations, accessible informations about any computer systems on the network that is linked to the internet. Sa mga upcoming na video, gagamit ako ng TryHackMe, HackTheBox, and Reinforce as my environment. Now, para sa pagsisimula, ang reconnaissance ay ang pagkalap ng impormasyon at ito ay medyo time-consuming at kailangan mong paggugulan ng oras at panahon, lalo na kung black box testing ang iyong gagawin, gaya ng mga ginagawa ng mga hackers. Sa reconnaissance, the more detailed information it is, the precise of execution on pen testing or pag-atake ng naturang target. OSINT Framework. OSINT is a technique of collection of data from publicly available sources to collect IP address, domain names, email addresses, names, and more. Ang framework ay may mga category gaya ng email address, IP address, DNS name, at marami pa. At may subcategory on every category gaya ng email address. So, paano nga ba ito ginagamit? Kung halimbawa, on domain name category, with subcategory on Whois, research on domain Dossier, ay maaari mong ilagay ang IP or domain name ng iyong target para makakuha ng informasyon gaya ng IP addresses, which is halimbawa sykes.com, at maaari ring i-expound ang information by clicking the options para makakuha ng karagdagang pang-impormasyon gaya ng IP ranges, email addresses, DNS records, services gaya ng FTP, kung saan base sa resulta mayroon siyang pure FTPD, meron siyang SMTP at marami pa na maaari nating ilagay sa ating bucket of informations or notes. Gamit ang IP address na category on host and port discover, gaya ng on Shodan IO, kung isi-search ko ang skype.com as target, mayroon tayong 14 results. IP addresses, ports, services, gaya ng remote desktop protocol on port 3389, domain name, gaya ng amir.sykes.com. Ang mga resulta na ito ay magagamit sa footprinting. Other tools is Wayback Machine from web.archive.org, kung saan ay ating makikita kung kailan nag-online ang website at kung ilang beses nag-update ang website na ito over time kung ating ikukumpara sa kasalukuyang website. Sa Whois naman ay makakuha tayo ng resulta gaya ng email addresses, phone numbers, or physical address na maaaring gamitin ng mga hacker to spoof email or send a phishing email. Google hacking or dorking kung saan ang kabuang impormasyon ay makikita sa n.wikipedia.org/wiki/google_hacking. Gamit ang operators to query on Google search engine gaya ng file type : kung saan maghahanap tayo ng mga exposed documents or materials ng naturang target para idagdag natin sa notes. Kalimitan sa mga documents na na-expose online ay maaaring naglalaman ng mga sensitibong informasyon gaya ng username and passwords or even credit card informations or patient medical informations at marami pang iba na maaaring magamit sa ongoing process ng pen testing. All in text combined with file type is lalawak ang ating pagkalap ng informasyon. Halimbawa, sa logs, pwede tayong makakuha ng informasyon gaya ng credentials, website, target IP address, network activity. In title with combine of in URL, halimbawa FTP, since FTP hold most likely sensitive informations or documents or materials may contain valuable informations since ang mga sample target na ito ay hindi nahingi ng login to authenticate kung saan ang mga sensitive information ay maaaring mag-leak at expose publicly at maaari ring i-exploit ng hacker at makompromise ang FTP site na ito ay dahil sa anonymous logon ng FTP site. or even viewing a privacy through a public webcams. Or paghahanap ng database kung saan base sa informasyon may mga DB username and password that is exposed online. So, paalala lang, ang ethical hacker hindi gagawa ng anumang action na ikakasira ng ibang sistema nang walang pahintulot. Ito ay educational purpose lang. Lesson learned, hindi natin maikaila kung bakit may maraming nahahack or na-compromise na mga sistema or company gawa ng expose and public information nang hindi na-filter at hindi dapat. Aside on manual process of reconnaissance, may mga tools na available in the wild gaya ng Spiderfoot, the Harvester, and Recon-NG na kalimitang ginagamit sa automation process for reconnaissance kung saan ang mga tools na mismo ang kakalap ng informations na available on the internet. Kung inyong nagustuhan ang video na ito, huwag kalimutang mag-like at mag-share ng video na ito sa inyong mga kakilala na nagnanais matuto ng cybersecurity, ethical hacking, and IT para dadami ang InfoSec sa ating bansa at lalaki ang komunidad ng Pinoy InfoSec. Para sa inyong katanungan o komento, huwag magatubiling mag-iwan ng mensahe sa ibaba ng video ay para aking masagot sa darating na videos. As always, stay safe, stay secured, at maraming salamat sa inyong pagsusubaybay sa channel na to.